What's going on, everybody? Back again with another video. So if you guys checked out my last video on the new gaming PC, then you guys will know that I have a RTX 3080. Now with the 3080, you know, you're definitely going to want to have step up your game with your monitor, right? So, and if you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know that I've gone through a good bit of monitors, but I think I finally found a winner for right now. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this monitor is the Acer XB273K G. And there are three versions of this monitor. This monitor has a P version, which is full FreeSync, a G version, which is GSync compatible, and then a S version, which is actually has the GSync module in it. Now, they are all three variants are the same resolution, which is the 3840 by 2160 4K. And they all are at 120 hertz refresh rate. But the difference is with the G model and the S model, you can go to 144 hertz. The S model utilizes the 144 hertz over one display cable, but it utilizes chroma subsampling. So you'll have to use 422. So you'll have that purple haze over all of your text. So in gaming, I don't really notice it that much, but with other applications like text, reading on the internet, you do tend to notice that. But with the G model, you can run 144 hertz with two display cables, which when you purchase this monitor, it does come with two display cables in the box. So the only difference is you will not be able to run your adaptive sync with it, but you can use the variable refresh buffer, which is their whole thing that they have for Acer that allows you to do the 1 millisecond, and it actually works really well. So, but 4K 120, you think it used to be impossible to hit, but now with the new build, it is in reach, and I actually am hitting it more often than not. So, with a little bit of customization to my settings, but never really jeopardizing detail. So, some features about this monitor. It has a full RGB strip that's on the bottom. If you guys can see that, let's see if I can get under there. It just runs along the bottom. It is customizable in the OSD. It does have a stand that you can come. It has, right now, I actually am using one of those cool little desk lamps that come on top that you just click to it, but it has a full tilt, swivel, back and forth, as well as height adjust. Let's see if I can go and get it to go down right there. There you go. And it actually can go into a vertical if you wanted it, but I'm not going to use that because normally I'm just using this. But you guys, like I said before, if you've watched my channel before, I'm usually having an ultra wide. I had even a super ultra wide at one point. And having now one monitor as a gaming monitor, it's taking some getting used to, but I think I really like it, and it's really growing on me, especially the 4K resolution, playing games at high detail, and being able to get the frame rate you want with a graphics card like my 3080. Now, mind you, in order to get those high FPS to hit that 120 or even 144 hertz, you're going to need a beefy card such as a 3080, 3090, or even when the new AMD 6000 series of graphics cards come out, one of those. But some great features with this monitor is that it's a 4 millisecond response time. It has great picture clarity. It's a 99% sRGB and a 90.3 DCI 3. And with this, I've actually had this one color calibrated, and you actually can go on Acer's website and they have ICC profiles for you to download right off the start. So that's really great with Acer giving that type of product to their consumers to ensure that their monitor looks the best but also functions well. There is no issues with flickering on this monitor. There is no issues with, and now it does come with speakers. I don't think the speakers sound that bad for a monitor that has speakers built in, but again, I use those, or I use my headphones. It does have a headphone stand in the back. Using that when I'm not using it since those are wireless charging, I usually put those on there, but it's not too thick. It does have a built-in fan at the top. You can't hear it, it's inaudible, which I really do appreciate. But to the OSD, we'll talk about. So, like most Acer and Asus, you have this wonderful joystick right there. And here's what shows up in the OSD. So you're gonna look right here, let's see if it focuses. Go into your menu, and as you can see, it has a whole bunch of different settings. Right now it's on the user because I'm using didn't change any of those because I am using an ICC profile. You got your gaming, which is your adaptive sync that's on there. Shows you your refresh rate numbers at the top of the screen and your VRB, which is what I was talking about with that really low, how Acer is getting to that 1 millisecond response time. So you also have, you know, your aim point. You can put the aim point on there for cheaters. Anyways, your OSD, how you want that, and then here you go with your system. So you got your display, tells you your right there, your DC. You have ambient light, which is the light that's under there, how you can change it. There's a whole bunch of different settings I can show you. So right now we have it's on disc color right now, so it's pretty much going the whole way, and it's 1. So if we go across, it will go rainbow, and it's breathing. This right here is simple shift, and I know it looks like it in the camera, but that's just, it doesn't look like that in real life. That's just the camera picking up those LEDs. Right now it's on gradient shift, still on rainbow, simple fill. Looks pretty neat. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ones as you see that I'm going through right here. So, but anyways, you got that. Now let's go back. So one big thing to show, you have your LED control, which is going to be your brightness of the LEDs, and then here's where you actually go in and you will put on to 4K 144 Hz mode, and that's where you just turn that on. So like I said, you can go ahead and make this monitor 144 Hz. I actually do not have it at 144 Hz. Do I have 2 display cables plugged in? I do, but I'm not using it. And as you can see right here, I am using at the 3840 by 2160 at 120 Hz. And the best thing is I can use it in full 8-bit, you know, RGB mode with full, and then here is your G-Sync. So unlike most G-Sync monitors, you'll end up or FreeSync monitors, when you go through and they're not going to be G-Sync compatible, you'll get that little message down here that says this monitor has not been validated to be, you know, full spec and actually used, but this is a full G-Sync compatible. Now, one thing with this monitor also is that it does have HDR capabilities. It's the HDR 400 certification. I haven't really used it much. I don't really see a difference. I think you need at least 1,000 nits in order to really see that type of HDR and, you know, brightness when it comes to what it actually does. Plus you need, I feel, FALD, the full array local dimming, in order to really experience that really well. But there are some drawbacks to that. But anyways, on this monitor, if you're in the market for a great monitor to pair with your new graphics card that you just got, and one of the new ones, the 3080, 3090, or even in one of the 6000 series like the 6800 XT or even the 6900 XT that's coming out, having a 4K, if you're thinking about jumping up to 4K and you have a 1440p monitor, I wouldn't do it. But if you have a 1080p and you want to make the jump, I definitely would do it. You're gonna see more detail. It just feels great. And if you like to play first-person shooter games, I like to play a lot of FPS games, and I don't really see that much of a difference. I play a lot of Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare at 4K, everything on max, other than shadows and ambient occlusion that's disabled or off, I'm averaging 100 to 115 FPS at 4K. No filter, that's it. So the 3080 is more than capable of being able to do it, and I can see things crystal clear with this 4K monitor. So this is also, I don't know if I mentioned, it is an IPS panel, so you're always going to get those great colors. You're going to get those great whites. The blacks won't be as good as a VA, but I find them to be just adequate. So again, it's a phenomenal monitor. I am enjoying every bit of it. I have been thinking about upgrading and pulled the trigger on getting one of these. Now, with the price in the market on 4K monitors, you're paying for the Acer or even an Asus that has these type of features. And I'll put a link in the description of all the different ones that are out there for you to go check out. You got LG's new 27G and 950, which is out, which is a great one. Nexius has one out. Viotech has one. I really would stray away from the Viotech one because there's been some pretty bad reviews on the 4K one from Viotech. Maybe they'll fix it later on down the road. Who knows? But so far, for build quality and just full-on functionality, I feel that the Acer Predator does the trick. And they do have the X27 version of this, which is 1000 nit, and that does have the full array local dimming, but actually this one outperforms it in response time. Now, I didn't really speak upon response time. I am using, there is 3 modes in this, off, normal, and fast. Normal looks the absolute best. When you have it on fast, you're going to have more ghosting, a little bit of shadow trails that are coming behind it. So I keep it on normal. That is optimal, and I don't see any issues. So again, if you guys are looking for a monitor to start upgrading, I've really been thinking about it. My Amazon page, my storefront, take a look there. I really appreciate it if you guys do happen to get anything on there. I appreciate it because I do get a little bit of kickback on that. But when it comes to price on this monitor, this version, the G, is about 850 bucks. The S is about 1100, and the P is about the same as the G. It's about maybe about, you can find it about $30 to $50 less than the G version of this. The X27, you're going to find that for about 1500. There really isn't that much of a difference with that. It's the same panel. Everything's the same other than the 1000 nit brightness and full array local dimming. So there's that. If you're not really interested in HDR and just want to have a great experience when it comes to visuals as well as response time, definitely look at the Predator XBK version of this, you know, the 273K. Either model, I would stray away from the P, either get the G or the S, just because, you know, you can use your FreeSync with this and it's going to be perfectly fine. So again, guys, if you like this video, I appreciate if you give it a big thumbs up. If you're just stopping by, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'm Hyper for Tech, and until next time.